In the long and complex history of ancient Iran, few places played a role as significant, and yet as mysterious, as the city of Anshan. For more than 15 centuries, this region stood at the crossroads of power, identity, and cultural transformation in southwestern Iran. Long before the rise of the Persian Empire, before the kings of Persia conquered the Near East, Anshan was already a center of political authority within the Elamite world. Its name appears in some of the earliest written records from Mesopotamia, preserved in Sumerian and Akkadian texts dating back to the late 3rd millennium BCE. For centuries, Elamite rulers proudly adopted the title, King of Anshan and Susa, linking two of the most important cities of their civilization. Yet despite this historical prominence, the true location and identity of Anshan remained uncertain for a very long time. Only in the 20th century did archaeologists begin to piece together the story of this ancient city. Their discoveries revealed that Anshan was not only a vital center of Elamite power, it was also the homeland from which the Persian Achaemenid dynasty would eventually emerge. This is the story of Anshan, a city that shaped the early history of Iran, witnessed the rise and fall of empires, and ultimately gave birth to the civilization that would transform the ancient world. The earliest known references to Anshan appear in Sumerian and Akkadian records from the late 3rd millennium BCE. These texts show that the region was already recognized as an important political entity in southwestern Iran. During the 2nd millennium BCE and the early 1st millennium BCE, rulers of the Elamite kingdom frequently adopted the title, King of Anshan and Shushan. These names correspond to the cities known today as Anshan and Susa. This dual title reveals an important political reality within Elamite society. Power was not concentrated in a single capital. Instead, it was shared between different regions, with Susa functioning as a major administrative and cultural center, while Anshan represented the eastern heartland of Elamite authority. By the middle of the 1st millennium BCE, the importance of the region would take on a new dimension. At that time, Anshan had become the homeland of a rising people who would soon change the history of the Near East, the Persians. For many centuries, historians debated the exact location of Anshan. Ancient texts clearly described it as a major city in southern Iran, yet its precise location remained unknown. This mystery began to unravel in 1970, when scholars proposed that a large archaeological site in western Fars province, known as Malian, might correspond to the lost city of Anshan. This hypothesis was based on several pieces of historical and archaeological evidence. One important clue came from the presence of an ancient Islamic city named Ash, located near the archaeological site. Linguistic studies suggested that the name Ash could represent a later evolution of the ancient name Anshan. Even more compelling evidence emerged during excavations conducted in 1971 and 1972. Archaeologists uncovered fragments of Elamite cuneiform inscriptions at Malian. These fragments contained portions of a dedication to a temple described as being located in Anshan. This discovery effectively confirmed that the site of Malian was indeed the long-lost city mentioned in ancient texts. The identification of Malian with Anshan transformed our understanding of Elamite geography and provided a concrete location for one of the most important cities in early Iranian history. To understand the earliest history of Anshan, historians must also examine references to another Elamite region known as Awan. Ancient texts sometimes refer to Awan instead of Anshan, leading scholars to propose that the two names may have referred to the same territory at different times in history. Evidence for this possibility appears in the Sumerian king list, an ancient document describing the succession of kingship across Mesopotamian cities. According to this list, the kingdom of Ur, around 2600 BCE, was defeated, and its kingship was transferred to the Elamite land of Awan. Later, a king of Kish invaded Awan and carried its kingship back to Kish. Shortly afterward, around 2500 BCE, the first known Elamite dynasty was established in Awen by a ruler named Peli. This dynasty appears to have prospered for several generations. However, its fortunes changed dramatically with the rise of a powerful empire in Mesopotamia, the Akkadian Empire. During the reign of Sargon of Akkad, who ruled between 2334 and 2279 BCE, the Akkadian Empire expanded into Elamite territories. Sargon invaded Elam and plundered several important regions, including Awen and Susa. His successor Rimush continued these military campaigns, reinforcing Akkadian authority over the region. Later, another Akkadian ruler, Manishtushu, recorded the reconquest of Anshan after a revolt against Akkadian rule. Interestingly, earlier Akkadian texts mention Awen but not Anshan, while later records refer to Anshan but omit Awen. This pattern strengthens the hypothesis that the two names referred to the same region. Another Akkadian king, Naram-Sin, even formed an alliance with Khita, the ninth king of Awen, demonstrating that Elamite rulers remained important political actors despite Akkadian pressure. The dynasty founded by Peli eventually came to an end around 2220 BCE with the fall of the ruler Kutik in Shushanak. Around the same time, the ruler Gudea claimed to have conquered the city of Anshan. These events suggest a significant political transition. The disappearance of the name Awen from historical records may reflect a shift in terminology rather than the collapse of the region itself. In other words, the territory once known as Awen may have simply come to be known as Anshan. This interpretation is supported by the fact that ancient texts sometimes mention Awen and Anshan in similar contexts but never in the same document. Such evidence strongly suggests that the two names referred to the same political region at different moments in history. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment and share this video. After the fall of Awen, a new Elamite dynasty rose in the territory of Samashki, probably located in the region of modern Isfahan. During this period, the powerful Mesopotamian state known as the Third Dynasty of Ur attempted to maintain influence over parts of Elam. Its ruler Shulga adopted a diplomatic strategy. He married one of his daughters to the ruler of Anshan. At the same time, however, he claimed to have devastated the region militarily. His successor Shu-Sin followed a similar policy, offering another royal daughter in marriage to a local ruler. These alliances did not produce lasting stability. Around 2021 BCE, the king of Samashki conquered both Awen, likely identical to Anshan, and Susa. Although the last king of Ur, Ibi-Sin, briefly recovered these territories in 2017 BCE, his success was short-lived. Soon afterward, Elamite forces launched a devastating attack against Ur. Ur fell, and Ibi-Sin himself was captured and taken to Anshan. Along with him, the statue of the moon god Nana was also carried away. This symbolic act represented not only military victory but also religious and political triumph. These historical records reveal that during the second half of the 3rd millennium BCE, Anshan, or Awen, was a major political center of the Elamite world. Archaeological discoveries at Malian confirm this importance. The site contains extensive fortification walls and evidence of continuous settlement dating back to the late 4th millennium BCE. Urban development intensified particularly during the final centuries of the 3rd millennium BCE and the early 2nd millennium BCE. This period corresponds precisely with the moment when Anshan appears frequently in cuneiform texts. Taken together, the archaeological and textual evidence paints a picture of Anshan as a powerful urban center deeply integrated into the political dynamics of the ancient Near East. After this flourishing period, Anshan disappears from Mesopotamian sources for more than 1,300 years. During this time, internal divisions likely weakened centralized control in southern Iran. A new Elamite dynasty eventually emerged around 1890 BCE under the ruler Epart. This dynasty revived the traditional title, King of Anshan and Susa. Yet despite this title, evidence suggests that Anshan itself was losing political importance. Archaeological data from Malian indicates a significant decline in population during the early 2nd millennium BCE. Meanwhile, the city of Susa expanded dramatically, becoming the dominant political and administrative center of Elam. Royal inscriptions and monumental constructions from this period reinforce the centrality of Susa in Elamite politics. By the end of the 2nd millennium BCE, Anshan appears mostly in royal titles rather than in historical narratives. This suggests that its role had become largely symbolic. The situation changed dramatically around 1110 BCE, when Nebuchadnezzar I invaded Elam. This invasion led to the collapse of Elam as an independent power for nearly 3 centuries. When the Elamites reappear in historical sources during the 9th century BCE, they no longer display the same political unity as before. At the same time, new forces were emerging in the region. Iranian-speaking groups were migrating into southwestern Iran, gradually reshaping the political landscape. During the 9th century BCE, Assyrian records begin to mention regions called Parsua and Parsawash. These territories are closely associated with the early Persians and the origins of the Achaemenid dynasty. One ruler mentioned in Assyrian texts was Cyrus I, known in ancient sources as Karash. He ruled Parsawash and also controlled the territory of Anshan. His grandson, the famous Cyrus the Great, later referred to him as the Great King of Anshan. This title reveals an important historical continuity. Even as Persian power was rising, Anshan remained a symbol of legitimate authority in the region. The identification of Anshan with the region of Fars is crucial for understanding the origins of the Persian Empire. Fars would later become the core territory of Persia itself. Over time, the name Anshan gradually disappeared, replaced by the term Parsa, from which the word Persia is derived. Archaeological evidence shows relatively little Achaemenid construction at Malian. This suggests that while the name Anshan continued to be used, the real political center of the Persians had already shifted elsewhere. Nevertheless, the ancient name may have survived in the shorter form Ash, which remained in use in the region even during the Islamic period. Although Anshan eventually lost its political importance, its historical legacy is immense. For centuries, it served as one of the main centers of Elamite power and played a crucial role in the political struggles that shaped southwestern Iran. It witnessed the expansion of the Akkadian Empire, the wars between Elam and Mesopotamia, and the dramatic fall of the Third Dynasty of Ur. Most importantly, it became the homeland of the early Persians and the starting point of the Achaemenid dynasty. From this ancient Elamite city emerged the rulers who would create one of the largest empires of the ancient world. Today, the ruins at Malian remind us that long before the rise of Persia, the foundations of Iranian civilization were already being laid in places like Anshan. Hidden beneath layers of history, this forgotten city played a decisive role in shaping the ancient Near East, and in preparing the stage for the rise of one of history's greatest empires.